Oh, you got one too. Oh, Jesus.
Going for a drive, do a little gig, then drive back with the chat. It's called the debrief. It's called the debrief. It's called the debrief. It's called the debrief. It's called the debrief.
Hello and welcome to the debrief. It's Dave O'Neill here with one of the regulars, Nick Capper.
Yeah, I can't believe I'm a regular. This is great.
Well, there's you and Oaksy.
This is a true honour. I mean,
It's an
true
honour.
honour. True honour. True honour. Yeah.
It's not a huge lineup of regulars.
No.
You,
It's great.
Oaksy, use your cars occasionally. Anyway, whatever. And we're driving to Geelong to
Yes.
do this gig at the Palace, which is some theatre that's been renovated. And you're coming along to film me because I said I want to get some good clips.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
But also
yeah.
the guy wants to know, will he get up and do 5? Oh, that'd be great.
Oh, really? Oh,
Well, if
well,
you
I'll do
want
it
to.
then. Yeah.
Yeah, we'll
Yeah.
I can negotiate your fee,
Yeah.
I said it's 8
No, I'll
grand.
just do it for free.
8 grand for Nick Kappa.
It's Evo, isn't it?
No, Ebo's not organising it. It's John from Geelong.
John from
John Watts from What's the Joke? Have you known a gig for him?
No.
No, he's like a high boots workman's boots sales guy rep.
Oh, really?
But he just drives around the state going, I could do a comedy gig there. I reckon I could do one there.
Really?
And he just organises gigs.
Oh, that's sick. I love that shit.
Yeah. So he's always ringing me up. We did a gig in Quambatook the other day, which is a long way because he was up there and he checked out the hall and spoke to the local people. And next thing you know, we're doing a gig in Quambatook.
Really? Does he do a spot?
No, he's not a comedian.
Oh,
No.
right.
No.
Loves running it.
Loves comedy, mate.
Loves
it. Loves
Man,
it.
I love those guys. Isn't it weird? You've probably done, I don't know if you've done this too, O'Neill, but as, like it's a slow career comedy.
It is.
It's slow. And, but lately, or over the years, I've just accumulated a bunch of these guys. Like,
I've got heaps that ring me up for weird gigs and stuff. Yeah. And some take a 5-year gap and they ring up. Mate, it's Wazza.
Yeah.
What? Wazza, you did Warranite Footy Club for me?
Yeah.
All right. Mate, what are you doing on the 28th of September? Well, I don't know, Wazza.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what happens, doesn't it?
Yeah, man. Yeah, it's crazy. And I've seemed to accrue all these kind of weird managers. Like there's Brooksy, one of our favourites.
Oh, yeah, the Brighton Yacht Club.
Yeah.
He's been on this podcast.
Oh, has he?
Oh, I interviewed him because he's
Oh.
interesting because he was in the Music Men.
Yeah, so there's Brooksy, and he gives me a call. He's like, mate, fucking
You could do the accent.
$300.
Mate, $300.
$300 at a footy club.
Yeah,
Cash.
come
See you
on,
there.
mate. It's gonna be great.
Gonna be great. I've got.
I don't have his accent. He's not Birmingham. He's somewhere near there.
Yeah, he's got some. He's just fucking awesome. He's just how old is he? 70? 70 or
Yeah,
something
he's
like
older than 70, I think now.
that. Yeah, sleeps outside.
He sleeps outside in his house.
Yes. Yeah, it's just he's like, I've never had such a better sleep than when you sleep
I
outside.
know, he
You gotta
loves.
try
I've seen
it.
a photo of where he sleeps, like in a
Oh
swag.
man.
And he hangs out with Michelle, who's the former Page 3 model from Scotland.
Yeah.
And everyone thinks it's his girlfriend or his carer. But
Yeah.
no, it's his friend.
So I've got him. He's one agent. He'll call
Yeah.
me up. And he's also got in his crew he's got me, you, Michelle in his crew, and then also this 11-year-old DJ.
The 11-year-old DJ.
Yeah,
And the bagpiper. Have you seen the bagpipe kid? The kid who plays George who
Oh,
plays
no,
bagpipes?
I haven't had him yet.
Oh, God.
Man,
Yeah,
it's fucking awesome. So I got him.
yeah he's
and,
good.
And then I've got, Crazy Tony, this director, the guy who directed, Wilfred and stuff. He directs a lot of
Oh,
commercials.
yeah, Tony
now.
Rogers.
Tony Rogers. Yeah,
God, I used to know him back in the day.
he's the craziest man ever. He's the best. I think he's the last of the,
Yeah, he's a good guy.
the crazy directors. You know what I mean? Like,
So
he's
he
not-
puts you in ads and stuff, doesn't he?
Yeah. So I got him. I got a betting company, sports bet. They call me up every now and then.
Yeah,
And
I've
they
seen you in
kind of
those ads, yeah.
You kind of accrue all these
Yeah.
agents, and they're always like fascinating, very friendly people.
Yes.
That the guys who run the clubs, they're a bit jaded. You know,
Yes.
what I mean, they got to do it every night.
Yes.
And I tip my hat to them because I would be so jaded if I ran a
Oh man, if you had to watch, there's a great documentary on Stan about the Comedy Store in America.
Oh, is
in
that
LA.
good?
Oh, it's fantastic.
Yeah.
Hughes, he put me onto it. So you'd love it because it goes through Kinison, Jim Carrey, Roseanne.
Yeah.
All the people that started there, Bill Burr,
Yeah.
Joe Rogan actually is really interesting.
Yeah.
I'm not a huge Joe Rogan fan, but what he's done is amazing. Oh, incredible.
Yeah.
But then again, I've never really seen his stand up. I've never seen his. I've seen bits, but
I tried to watch it once. It wasn't too good.
yeah.
Yeah.
But anyway, they show the guy who books the Comedy Store watching comedy, just putting his head in his hands,
Yeah.
like repeatedly, and he watches all the open mics. It's like, oh man, because I feel embarrassed when I watch open mics sometimes because there's the occasional goal, but there's as we know, because we're both former open micers,
Yeah.
there's a lot of bad stuff out there.
So much bad stuff. And I remember it's a really good episode of WTF.
Oh, yeah,
Mark Maron
Mark
with
Maron.
Billy Crystal.
Oh, I have to listen. I haven't heard that.
And it's awesome, man, because it's got these club owners and they know what works, right?
Yeah.
So he said there was this big guy. Apparently, he always smoked a cigar and had bad dandruff. I don't know if he was associated with the Comedy Store, but one of those clubs.
Yeah, right.
Anyway, Billy Crystal finally got his fucking audition night, and he was killing, you know. And he went up there, he destroyed, killed, couldn't have been happier. And sat down with the guy, and the guy said, "Yeah, I didn't care for it. You know, it was all right."
Yeah,
and he's like, "Why?" And he's like, "Oh, come back, write about your family, write about your life, write about this."
Yeah.
And I think he just had all dumb jokes or whatever.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And he's like, "Give me some of that, give me that," and then so you had to redo his whole set to
Cool.
come back. So it was really cool. That's a good episode.
And that's what probably made him. That's what made Billy Crystal, all that family stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, Jim Carrey used to do impressions. He was just a straight-out impression, a very good impressionist.
Yeah.
Like he changed the shape of his face to do Clint Eastwood,
Oh,
and then he just decided, I'm not going to do impressions anymore. And so he
Yeah.
used to go out every night and die, just improvising, until he got good for months on end.
Fuck.
Yeah.
That's amazing, man.
Yeah.
Because, speaking of Joe Rogan, I listened to my first Joe Rogan episode
Oh, yeah, right.
the
Yeah.
other day. I listened to the one where he interviews Louis C.K.
Oh, is that good?
Because I was like, oh, I wonder how he's coming back. You know what I mean? Like,
Oh, so is that a recent one?
yeah, it's a recent one. I think it's the
Oh.
latest one, nearly.
Oh, I got to listen. And what's it like?
Yeah, it's all right. Yeah, Joe Rogan, he's not a bad guy, but I think he repeats a lot of the thing that the person says.
Oh,
back to
that's a
them.
classic, yeah.
You know, like a lot of that. But what was it? What were we talking about?
Well, I listened to the Bill Burr one because I
mm.
love Bill Burr, and it was good up until I started looking at old photos of cars for about half an hour.
Ah, yeah.
Look at this one, man. Look at this one up on the web. It's a Mustang. Oh man, that was the good one.
Yeah.
It's like
yeah.
what?
Yeah, man. Yeah.
Anyway,
Yeah.
but apart from that, it was funny because Bill Burr had a go at him about wearing masks.
Oh, right.
So he goes, Joe Rogan goes, you wearing a mask? And he goes, mate, are you a doctor? Because I'm not a doctor. So you know what? I'm going with what the doctors say. All right?
Yeah. Fuck.
Oh,
that's
it's
good.
just shut him down. And because, of course, Joe Rogan has a lot of respect and,
Yeah.
really looks up to Bill Burr.
Yeah.
You couldn't really argue with him.
Yeah.
So-
Fucking oath, man.
Exactly. But anyway, so
Um,
how have you been going? Because if people don't know, you had cancer
Yeah.
and of the testicles,
Yes.
and you had chemo, so your hair's growing back.
Yeah, my hair's growing back. Actually, it's like baby hair. It's really
Fluffy.
nice and soft.
Because I mean,
Fluffy.
normally people grow. I remember when Linda Gibson had cancer and she had chemotherapy and stuff. Her hair grew back very curly, but your hair was already curly.
Yeah, man. I was scared that it was going to go straight. I'm very scared.
It's
Because my
not-
hair was all I had. You know.
Your hair was like your catchphrase.
Yeah, yeah. So
Your hair's not going to go straight.
hopefully.
I don't think so.
Linda Gibson, apparently she was killer, right?
She was great. Yeah.
She was so good.
She was very good. Yeah, and a
Yeah,
nice
right.
person.
Yeah, right.
But the old Cancer's a bad thing. And so what, did they take out both your nuts now, or
No,
was there still one left?
no, they take one out,
Right.
the one with the cancer.
Right.
So that what they do is they go, oh, okay, we'll take the cancerous one out. That'll be fine. Who cares, right? But then later on, they were like, oh no, it's back. So we're just going to go straight to chemotherapy.
Oh, so it's in your second testicle.
No, it came back where my other testicle was, and it spread to my abdomen and my lungs.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Oh, gee, is that called secondary cancer or just cancer?
I think it's just cancer, I think.
Yeah.
Could be called secondary cancer.
Fucking cancer.
Yeah, it was crazy, man. So
and now they reckon they've got it all?
Yeah, there's still one lump there that they might have to cut out.
Where's that?
Yeah, in the lung. Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, yep. So they've got to check it. There's a third of a chance it's cancer, third of a chance it's like something else called like a teratoma. So that could be cancer in 15 years.
Right.
And then there's a chance that it's dead. It's just
Yeah.
dead skin.
Well, you can live with one lung. Some people have one lung.
Oh, really?
Yeah, people have one lung, one functioning lung.
I think I just got to get it cut out and that's it.
Fuck that.
I'm really hoping they do cut it out, because it's just it's kind of annoying. Like
How do they get into your lungs? How do you reckon they do that?
I don't know, man.
They go through your ribs?
Oh, yeah, I don't know. It's keyhole, apparently.
Keyhole, that's all right then.
Yeah.
Keyhole, we love keyhole.
Yeah, we love keyhole. I'm a big keyhole fan.
Keyhole up the anyway. Up the other hole.
It's been cool getting back into gigs, and it's really weird. I've been trying to write stand up about in life, you like, because I've got a job. I just do random labour hire jobs, and I love working in the shoe factory now.
You work in the shoe factory?
I worked in a shoe factory the other day. I worked in a coat hanger factory in North Altona. It was the biggest coat hanger warehouse it was the biggest warehouse I'd ever seen in my whole life.
In North, and just coat hangers?
Just coat hangers.
Wow.
That's it. It was huge, man. It was. I can't tell you how big it was. It was. I'll show you a video of it later on. Because I was just there in one warehouse that was big enough, and the manager guy kind of looked at me proudly. I was like, I just thought it was an import place. So I was like, oh, you're just importing coat hangers today? And he's like, mate, coat hangers is all we do.
So they make them there, or
no? They just import them.
Import them?
Yeah, huge. I was stocking all kinds of coat hangers. Look, I don't want to brag, but Country Road, Billabong, Quicksilver,
mate, all the big brands.
Yeah, boating, camping, fishing.
And why are you doing that kind of work? Do you need the money? Is that why? Or?
Yeah, I was driving my partner crazy. I think, although I make, I don't make a respectable amount of money from comedy, but I make enough to live.
Yeah, you would.
But that's not enough for her. So, but also I kind of wanted to just have a normal life for a bit. It's weird. It sounds weird.
Is that because of the cancer? Or?
Yeah. I just sat around for 4 months feeling like shit.
It's always good to do something, isn't it?
Feeling nauseous.
Yeah.
And I just kind of wanted to get back into society.
Yeah, via the coat hanger factory.
Yeah, via the coat hanger factory. Yeah, man. Yeah, but it's weird because I love working these jobs. That thanks to cancer, I'm like, oh fuck, I get to fucking work a job like this,
So, and you have a positive outlook on it too. You seem to have a positive outlook on those kind of jobs.
Yeah, man. Yeah, people go to the gym and stuff, and I'm like, why go to the gym when I can just
work at the coat hanger factory and lift stuff? Yeah, it's
just
true.
Do heavy lifting and
it's true.
Just do it, and it's good fun, and you meet weird people, but I was trying to write how I'm loving that outlook on life. However, the other day at the airport, it was 6 a.m. So, you're a bit grumpy when you wake up at 6 a.m.
Oh, God, yeah.
And this guy kept trying to pay with his Apple Watch. Trying to pay the FPOS machine at the coffee thing. And he tried like 3 times. And I was ready to just grab his hand and just continually bang it into the, the bench, into the machine. Just going to use a fucking card.
I've worked 4 days in the coat hanger factory, mate.
Yeah, so you're not fully reset. You know,
No.
I think it took me 2 gigs to realise, that crowd sucked, or
Yeah, right.
hate that guy, he's annoying. You know,
Factories are weird. I worked in a tile factory when I left school.
oh yeah,
Me and these guys from high school, we all, and
fuck, that would have been.
oh, the tile factory.
Oh.
It's still there. They make
Wow.
roof tiles, and so
Wow.
they bake them in a massive kiln.
Oh wow.
And our initial job was to clean out the tunnel that
Yeah.
ran between the furnace and the kiln,
Yeah.
which was a jackhammer job, lying in a tunnel,
Wow.
lying down. And I used to fall asleep down there because I was 18. I was going out every night.
Yeah, yeah,
We'd go
yeah.
to bands, getting home at 1, getting up at 6 to go to this job, and it was just. And what happened? We all got our Year 12 results, and me and a guy called Robert Popovic, who's now a doctor, we went to uni, but the other guy, Jeffrey, he failed Year 12, and I go, so what are you going to do? He goes, oh, I'll just stay here. So he just stayed working there. Like, he's probably
Wow.
still there.
Wow, man.
So,
Wow.
but factories are interesting places.
They are, man. They are, because I think although we don't get a huge amount of money doing comedy, and I don't like telling people I do it.
Oh yeah, when you're at the factory.
No, or just anywhere, you know,
Yeah,
like
yeah,
anywhere.
yeah.
I don't really like telling people I do stand up, or I don't
No.
know. I don't know why. It's like declaring that you're the funniest guy in the room, or something like that. I don't know. It's just I like to keep it private, you know.
Well, it's like when Lawrence Miller was in a cab in Adelaide, and the guy said, "What do you do?" And he said, "Oh, I'm an architect."
Yeah.
He's like, "Oh, have you designed any buildings I know?" And he said, "I designed Amy Park in Melbourne." The guy goes, "Amy Park?
Yeah.
You kidding me? I love soccer. I've been there many times." Hang on, I'm going to call my mate. George, this is the guy who designed Amy Park's in my cab. It's like, well, that backfired. That backfired.
Yeah, man.
I know, people
Yeah.
always say,
Yeah.
I know, I always hesitate.
Yeah.
Oh.
Oh no, man. Yeah, me. Yeah, but I guess when I'm at the coat hanger factory, I'm like, because it's got a lot of people. It was the biggest warehouse I've ever seen. It had all these people in management, you know, rocking up, and they're in their office, and I'm like, oh, I think I'd rather tell people I work in comedy than tell them I manage a coat hanger factory or something. But then also,
Right.
I have a real respect for these people, because
Yes.
I wish that I could just take a job like that. I wish I could just
Yeah.
have a simple life.
Yeah,
where I
I
wasn't
know.
going out every night. I wish.
I know, you wonder what it'd be like. You wonder what, we used to, every
Yeah.
job has, no matter how simple the job, they all have their own pressures though. I
Yeah, they
reckon.
do. They do, man.
Do you remember
yeah.
that? Do you remember the Wonder Years?
Yeah,
With
yeah.
Arnold and Arnold. So it was a show that was sort of a nostalgic show about a kid growing up,
Yeah.
and he used to narrate it. I remember when my dad yelled at me.
Yeah, yeah.
Anyway, his dad was always angry. He reminded
Yeah.
me a bit of my dad. My dad
Yeah.
wasn't that angry, but he was
Yeah.
he occasionally, and he couldn't work out why he was so angry. He would come home from work fuming, and then
Yeah.
he went to work with him, and he worked in a box factory,
Yeah, yeah.
and he was like the middle manager. And so Arnold's like, he was cupping shit from the workers and then from his managers.
Yeah,
So he
yeah.
was just stuck in the middle.
Oh, man.
The classic middle manager. You're like, no wonder he's angry.
Well, the working dad, and the working mum, they were heroes in their
Yeah.
old times, because,
Yes.
well, you know, up until 5 years ago or something, because social media, stuff like that, now people are like, well, I don't want to work that job, or I don't want to
Yeah.
do that, or I don't know. We've got so much choice. But back
Yes.
then, you're like, I've got a fucking family. I'll just
I'm
who
gonna work.
cares? I'm just gonna fucking, you know, make these bricks and come home, and then you come home to your kid who's got absolutely no, don't feel sorry for you at all.
No.
They're like, Dad, I want it. Jimmy's got new shoes. Why don't I have these shoes? You're just like, just shut the fuck up, you
Shut
little
up.
rat. You know, you're the reason I'm here. You know.
Well, my son, who's at uni now, says he doesn't have to work because I'm wealthy. I'm like, mate, I'm not that wealthy.
Yeah,
all
yeah,
right?
yeah.
No, I know you are. And I'm like, well, you still have to work. I said, but
Yeah.
you think, Buffett or,
Yeah.
one of those got Bezos gets up and just does nothing?
Yeah,
You think Gina Reinhardt's just sitting on her ass all day?
yeah.
The richest people in the world get up and work. Oh, I don't have to work.
Also, man, you tell him it never works out that way, because it takes ages for people to die now.
Yes,
Like,
exactly.
He'll be,
Mate, yeah, what is he waiting for?
you'll be living to 120 and
inheritance?
Yeah, he'll be.
Oh, it's bugger that. Bugger that.
Oh, man.
But you've come back with a real I mean, I've seen you a few times now doing stand-up, and you've been fantastic. So you've come back with a real, and your stuff on cancer is fantastic.
Yeah,
So,
I'm hoping to write, more. It's
so
very
much so
difficult.
that you enraged Brad Oakes the other night at a gig.
Yes.
Where he had to go on after you, and at one point he said, well, he talked about his heart attack, so he's like, you've got cancer, I'll raise you with a heart attack.
Yeah.
I think everyone in the crowd's like, nah.
Yeah.
Cancer's probably worse, mate.
Also, he's a big man,
Yeah,
so a lot of people are like, you probably brought this on, brother. Even though, I don't have any evidence, but I probably brought mine on too, eating, Calabrese and fucking prosciutto.
You reckon?
Yeah, well, apparently and I love that shit. Like,
do you eat a lot of that salami?
not all the time, but like probably every weekend or something. I'll have something like that.
Yeah.
Anyway, my partner's like, maybe you shouldn't eat a whole one, and fucking just have it in the fridge.
Yeah,
by yourself.
Right. You do read that salami, and God, I eat a lot of bad stuff. I think it's just, unfortunately, it's just bad luck and genes and whatever. That's.
Yeah.
None of your parents have had cancer, or?
No, it's an undescended testicle, so that's what creates it.
A what?
An undescended testicle.
So it means it hasn't dropped.
Yeah, one of them hasn't. One of them didn't drop. Yeah.
Oh God, right.
Yeah. Yeah.
But why does it not dropping cause cancer?
Yeah, I don't know. It's funny because when I told my sister, she's like, "Oh, do you have an undescended testicle?" And I was like, "How did you know? Like, did Mum tell you that I had one or whatever?" And she said, "No, it's because when we got our dogs, our little dachshund dogs, one of them had an undescended testicle, and the vet said, oh, you should get that cut out. It'll cost $1,000 or whatever."
Yeah, right.
And they were like, oh, fuck, really? And they're like, yeah, because they get cancer. And they're like, all right, we'll cut the fucking... And they thought the vet was ripping them off.
Yeah, right,
and
but
she's like, oh, we found out that the vet...
did you ask for the vet's number?
Yeah.
It's only $1,000.
Yeah.
Cut it out.
Yeah, she's like, oh, what a relief. And I was like, yeah, what a way to find out the vet wasn't ripping you off. Your brother gets cancer.
Over the nuts.
So yeah, man.
Boy.
No. It was easier to write about the testicle cancer, but then I got it the second time round with the chemo. Not so easy. Not so easy.
Yeah, that's right, because it's so full on. You know what I mean? Like.
Yeah.
But you'll get there. I mean, it just takes time sometimes, and looking back. But
yeah,
if something's been so full on, it's like, you may not even want to talk about it. So.
It's very hard because there's so much material, to work with. I have a slight ringing in my ears a lot that happens now, and it'll probably be forever.
Tendonitis that's been caused by this.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Yeah, the chemo is real. It's good for cancer. Like it fucking destroys cancer. Not so good for your body.
Yeah.
They're always tingling in my fingers and feet, and I just think there's so much good fodder for comedy there at some point.
At some point, exactly. And with the chemo sessions, how long do they go for? It's just a drip in the arm these days, isn't it?
Yeah, man. Yeah, it's 4 hours a day.
Right.
And then you have like a week off after a succession of 6 days. Then you'll have 4 days off.
Yeah.
Then you'll have one more, and then it's 4 days after that. Then you'll have another 6 days. Yeah. So.
And you got all the nausea and all that with that.
Yeah. It was brutal. It was. I don't want to brag or anything, but I never get sick, and I never complain about anything really. I just do things. Yeah. And it was the hardest thing I've ever been through. I was fucked.
Of course.
It was terrible. The first week, comedian Michael Schaefer, he was amazed at how well I was doing. I was still doing gigs. I did a gig with you.
He had the same thing, didn't he? Similar thing. Yeah.
He's like, I can't believe it. You're killing it. Like, he goes, mate, you're going to breeze through this, because some people do. But then
that's good for them.
yeah.
But then it hits. Yeah, right. That hit you.
It was brutal. Yeah. It also didn't help that COVID was around.
Oh, terrible.
So I had to stay inside all the time and try not to go to things or whatever, because if I got COVID, it would have ruined the whole operation.
Oh, Jesus, really?
It just would have taken a lot longer and put it off.
Right. Yeah.
So I just had to keep bloody going along, and that made it bad because you need distractions. I think it was almost better when I had gigs on and I was doing gigs because
also you're not looking forward to whatever you can, and then you get a bit of an adrenaline rush and stuff too.
Yeah.
So, and also just something to do.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, you're just sitting around focusing on it. But it was terrible. It was real terrible. Yeah, I don't want to bring the mood down, but it was like, I think Schaefer explained it the best. You know when you've taken a 20-hour flight on a plane, and it's just, they say, okay, you got to buckle up for landing, and it takes ages, and you're all fidgety, you're all sweaty, and you just feel like shit, and you feel a little bit sick, and
that's what it's like.
Yeah, that's what it's like, man.
Wow.
It's like that times 1,000.
Jeez.
Yes, because you're weird, anxious mood, but you can't really sleep. Sometimes
people go, just watch a movie now, but you can't often do anything, can you, I reckon?
Movies make you sick, like watching a movie.
Yeah.
You can't really,
the motion and stuff.
So sometimes you just got to stare at the wall. Cannabis oil was good.
Oh, cannabis oil, yeah, right.
Yeah, because you're like, oh, well, I might as well be a bit high or something like that.
Yeah,
and it gives you appetite.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah. So, that was the craziest thing. So it's hard to write comedy about that.
Yeah.
But I've been trying to do it. I did a draft for the show, and some bits are just too dark. Like. Yeah. But it's funny. You try to make it work. You know, like. They do sound good on paper. Like, I was trying to talk about people when they're like, you should vlog your journey, Nick. You should vlog your journey.
Right.
And I was like, I don't know if people want to see such journeys, you know, like people want to see a journey of, I don't know, you're on a cruise ship or whatever. It's not like you go on a travel agent, you know, hey, I want to go somewhere, but I only want to go with no hair, pissing blood sometimes, feeling nauseous. My dick doesn't work. I lose all my muscle mass, and I don't feel like eating anything all the time. And they go, oh, that sounds awful. What destination would you like to go to? And you're like, oh, just back to normal.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
Which I worked on that with Jack Druce, and we made it, and it's like, but when you say it on stage, it's just sad.
Yeah, well, that's problem. Yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah, exactly. It's too bleak.
It's so bleak,
isn't it? It's too bleak.
Yeah.
I did a thing about, which is a true story.
Yeah.
About checking my dad's hairline on his deathbed because everyone maintained that he had a comb forward, and so I always maintain that. And it's not the sort of thing you could bring up with him. Are you combing your hair?
Yeah.
Are you really bald under there? And so when he died, I went to the hospital, and my brother was there, my other brother, and he's like, I'm going to hug him. Do you want to do anything? I said, I'm just going to check his hairline. I'm showing my brother, look, he's got a full head of hair. Fuck all those people that said he had a comb forward.
Yeah.
Fucking, and I remember Brad Oakes saying, that's pretty full on. I said, yeah, but it's true. But sometimes you would get a gasp in the audience when you do it.
Yeah, man, yeah. I love that.
Because the punchline is, I rang up my wife and I said, guess what? Kev's got a full head of hair. And she's like, oh, how is your dad? And I go, oh, yeah, not great. But he died with a full head of hair. Just know that. Oh, God. And it is pretty bleak, but... It's true.
Yeah, that is fucking funny, man.
That's Kevin was always suggesting, jokes for me. So.
There was it's hard for you, man, because you're always doing a gig where you're getting paid a fair bit and people depend on you. But you don't have time to test out those kind of polarising bits.
Oh, yeah. Well, I do when I do the Grandview. Don't worry about that.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
I've had plenty of moments of silence.
Yeah.
Where people are just like, what?
Do you think, man, you've built a friendship with the Grandview now so you can kind of bomb and don't feel
but it's
bad?
not the same people.
Yeah.
I don't really care about bombing there because I'm just the MC.
Yeah, right.
Oh, well, anyway, here's Nick Capper, everyone. You know, so Cal Wilson's coming up in a minute. All right. So it's not really. I think they know, most of the regulars know now that I use it as a like a testing ground.
How long you been doing that for?
8 years maybe.
8 years.
A long time. I didn't want to run a comedy room, but I read, someone asked me to do it, one of the guys that worked there. And I remember reading a book about Frank Skinner, the British.
Oh, yeah.
And he said that he hosted a gig in his local pub. And he said it was the best way to get new material. Because also it forces you to do new stuff. Because you're just sitting there going, fuck, I've got to do something different tonight. You know what I mean? So,
but I think you've really utilised it now. I think, I don't know, years ago when I first started, going there and stuff.
Yeah.
You would do a bit of the same material or whatever. But now you've kind of got this rolling fucking...
Yeah, I do a lot of crowd work and then try and put new
of
stuff in.
Yeah, like you're really...
Trying, anyway.
It's so crazy, man, just watching... It's weird. Usually a lot of guys, like, they get to your kind of position, even 8 years ago, and they would have just stuck to the same jokes. But you're like, not only have you got more material, you're like way better. I couldn't think of you getting any better, but you're like way better now.
Yeah, you try and... Well, you got to keep... Most of them do. Most of the good ones, like you look at, I watched Peter Hallier, who we're on with tonight.
Yeah.
Mate, he's got so much new stuff.
Man.
Thornton, Cal Wilson I was watching the other night, and Claire Hooper. They've both got, I'm like, I haven't seen any of that stuff.
Yeah.
So I'm just like, but you know what it is, the pressure of doing another festival show.
Yeah.
Where you realise as soon as you can start working on new stuff, the better it will become.
Yeah.
February or March when you're shitting yourself.
Oh, yeah.
And going, what's funny? Driving along is funny.
Yeah, that's what
you're panicking.
That's what I was going to say about this Louis C.K. thing on Joe
Rogan. He turns over material.
Yeah, and he said he was in the pandemic, and he had to do another special. So he did.
He had to.
Yeah, he had to. He had some fucking deadline or something.
Yeah.
So he'd do the 20 minutes. And then get it perfect, but he wouldn't work. He said once he got it good, he wasn't allowed to touch it then.
Ah, right.
So he'd throw it, he'd have it all perfect, and then just do another 20. He said otherwise you just relax. You just want to kill at the end. And just, of course, died so many times. And I was like, fuck, that is... Because that's what I've been doing with the testicular cancer stuff. I wrote all that stuff in October last year when I had it first. And then now I, like, close on it. You know, and the other stuff really hasn't got that good.
Yeah, right.
So I've got to make a sacrifice now.
Yeah. Well, there's different ways of doing it, huh?
It's hard making new openers, isn't it? Openers is the...
New openers is hard.
That's
hard. Do we take advice from a guy who's caught masturbating in doorways?
No.
In the pot plants. No, apart from that, he has obviously good advice.
Yeah, no, I was just, it was interesting,
Imagine if you went to his comedy class and he's like, all right, so this is what you do.
Yeah.
You do your 20 minutes and then you go and do small clubs and at night what you should do, just stand in the doorway and, what? What's he talking about now? What's he going on about?
Comedy has... you see advice from the weirdest fucking people, eh? Like, I remember one time I bombed in Brisbane real bad at this big gig, and I felt like shit. And I think I bombed at a few other gigs. They were awful. And then I went to I was on to the Comedy Store in Sydney.
Oh, yeah.
And I felt so... I was like... Because back then I wasn't good enough to do the same material over and over again. I got bored too easy, and I became really bad at it. Anyway, I said to this comic, I said, oh, fuck, what should I do, man? He's like, man, start with something that works.
Yeah.
Have fun in the middle, and then end with something that works.
That's good. Who was that? That's good advice.
Well, I don't know if I should say his name, because after he said that, he smoked weed out of an apple. Like straight after.
Out of an apple?
Yeah.
Like a bong? He made a bong out of an apple?
Yeah. He used to smoke weed out of an apple.
Yeah.
Had the cone in the fucking top.
Yes, I think I know.
And that's like, it's like Louis would be there just jerking off in the doorway, and I'd be like, oh, this 20-minute thing.
It's good advice. Yeah, openers are hard. Openers are the hardest thing. It's to get a good routine you're confident with at the start.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, man, it's so hard. A closer, I don't know. I feel like once I've got them at the start and the middle,
Yeah.
I mean, it's easy then. You can
Well,
close to
yeah,
anything.
just close the thing. Just go.
You
Anyway,
close the hole.
I've been in
Yeah.
cabin. Thank you. Good night.
Yeah, yeah. But the festival show thing is brutal, especially now putting out clips and stuff like that.
Yeah.
They're not really burnt. Like I've put out
They're
a
not
heap,
burnt.
heap now, and I'm like,
Yeah.
okay, I reckon I could do them in the festival next year.
Of course
'cause
you
there's been
could.
Enough time. There's been enough time.
Of course you could.
know,
They won't even
if
remember.
I get real desperate,
No, don't worry.
Yeah.
Man, don't worry about that.
Yeah. So
Anyway, so here we are on the way to Geelong. We'll go to the gig and then we'll report back on how it went.
yes,
Yes.
Geelong.
Geelong, the G-Town.
I wish we kind of could have came in early. I remember I did a gig once in a bar and it had cameras all over the side of the bar.
Oh.
It was really cool.
I don't know where that is.
And I was like,
in
oh.
Geelong, in the G-Town?
Yeah, we should have left early and just had a little drink there. But I was
Yeah.
like, I don't know.
G-banger.
Dave, Dave's a family man.
I
He
was
wants to
cooking
hang
dinner.
out.
I was having dinner, don't worry.
Yeah, me too. I went for a walk with my partner. I went for a walk to,
You enjoy
spend
walks.
time with her. I'm going to Perth tomorrow at 5 in the
Mate,
morning.
Fucking brutal.
Yeah.
All right, well, we'll
Yeah.
be back.
All right. See ya.
Just leaving Geelong and back on the debrief. We've done the gig. It was great. You did very well, Nick.
Yeah, you did very well as well, mate. That
Oh,
was fantastic.
It was in a theatre. So they've renovated this old Palais Theatre, which was a bingo centre for a long time, but it used to be a big venue in the 70s, 60s, 80s where people met and fell in love. And
Yeah, why did he keep saying, people rooted here? I was like,
Yeah,
I don't know
yeah.
if people would root in the theatre.
No. He means they met their partners there.
Met their partners there.
So, like a lot of people from my parents' generation, if they're from Geelong, they would have met there. 'Cause it would have been a dance hall.
It was a cool theatre, man.
Man, it was great. And it's, we don't do theatres very often.
No.
And it was great fun. Because as you pointed out,
Yeah.
people were just sitting there and listening.
Mm.
There was an awkward moment, though, when I was I picked someone out in the audience and try and guess their name. And the guy, I'd done a gig for him like about 3 weeks ago.
Yeah.
He goes, I met you. I know you. I paid you. Captain.
Fuck, that's funny.
And then he goes, you picked up my dad in the neck brace. I'm like, oh, yeah, I remember Ken in the neck brace. And then he yelled out, yeah, he died. I'm like, what?
Oh, fuck.
This is why I'm on stage. And I go, he didn't die. No, we're here to cheer up. I'm like, don't say that
Yeah.
to the audience. I'm like, don't say Ken died. He didn't. Then they told me in the break, no, he didn't die. He was mucking around. I said, oh, that's good. I hope the audience realised that.
Yeah. And also, but didn't the promoter guy go, oh, yeah, I know that family. He didn't die, but he's definitely on his last leg.
Yes. Well, that's why he wears the neck brace. He has some kind of neck cancer or something.
Oh, really?
Thank God when I did the gig
Ah.
for her party, I saw him in the neck brace and I did include him in the act, but I didn't say, what's wrong with your neck? Because I've made that mistake before. Where I've gone, why are you on crutches? You broke your leg? No, I have a disability.
Oh, fuck.
And that's never,
Really?
that's never good.
Oh,
Never
that is brutal.
But
Man, I remember a comedian told me once that he did a corporate, some bloke had cancer in a bed or something, and they're like, just rip on him. Like he'd right up to the party. What was his name? Chris from Sydney. He did all those corporate gigs. You never
former
see him.
lawyer. Yeah.
You never used to see him around doing... Anyway, I forget his name. Chris Radburn.
Oh, Redbone. Yeah, he's good,
Yeah,
isn't he? I've never seen
yeah.
him. He's very good.
Yeah, and...
Just rip into the bloke in the
just
bed.
rip into the bloke. And I was thinking, man, I thought you'd have a few weird gigs like that.
Oh, absolutely.
Where they like fucking rip into this
Yeah,
dude
yeah,
or
and they say,
something.
"Oh, have a go at Doug. He loves a drink." Turns out Doug's an alcoholic,
Yeah.
and it's like, so sometimes that information can be good, but sometimes it can be bad.
Man, it was actually in Geelong. Do you know what? I did a gig here for a sports team or something, and we're like, who should we rip into? I was the MC, and they said, oh, this guy's going through a midlife crisis. You should rip into him. He's just got a convertible or whatever. And something else, some girl's really annoying or whatever.
Yeah,
But then I just came off as mean. I
Yeah,
just came
well,
off as
that's-
a mean
yes.
man. And I was like, oh, hang on. These people want blood, but they don't really... You've got to do it.
sometimes there's an agenda.
Yeah.
with it, which you don't want to
Mm.
enter into.
Anyway, I bombed real bad, and everyone didn't do well until Goldstein got on there, and he's got that I don't care
attitude,
fearlessness, and it was good. Yeah, he killed.
God, Goldstein.
Yeah.
Oh, I've done plenty of weird gigs like that where they've gone, yeah, go pick on Stuart. And
yeah.
Stuart is not up for it. I just move on quickly. Yeah. I can read people. I can see their faces where they're looking like you've just taken a dump on their lawn and you just move on pretty quickly.
I did like one of the best gigs I've done in a long time, but it was cheating. It was the audience. When the audience are that good, it's just cheating.
Yeah, you still have to be good.
It was at Maddock Brewery on the Gold Coast.
Oh wow!
I did this gig and there was this old guy who looked like Mario up the front. I'm like, hey, what are you guys here for? And they're like, his birthday. I'm like, oh fuck, you look like fucking Mario.
Yeah.
And they loved it that I was ripping. I was like, fucking Mario, you're lucky you made it here. Jesus Christ, you're old.
Yeah.
This is your last birthday from the looks of it. And the audience were just like they couldn't get any better. It was they were like 1 millimeter from getting out of their chairs.
Yeah, right.
And that wasn't because that was most of the acts, but the fact that I was talking to the crowd,
yeah, they love that.
Made it even like bigger. Like, whoa!
He's actually
I just had to say
us.
the word Mario, and they were like, "Fucking yeah!" Like, it was a wild. You're on cloud fucking number 9 when that happens.
Yeah.
God.
There's one thing worse though, being backstage watching that, going, oh, I've got to go on now after Nick's connected with Mario.
Oh.
Yeah, but what you do is come and go, I've heard a lot about you, Mario.
That's it.
Try and keep it going.
Or you'll say a joke, and at the end they're like, and I mean you, Mario.
Yeah.
Did you like that one, Mario? And they're like, oh wow, he knows what's going on.
Yeah,
It's like
yeah.
I remember one time, man, some guy used to send me, I think they pay me pretty well. They pay me $200 or $300, and for corporate trivia, and like just rock up with the fucking. They'd have the mic there already or whatever, and I'd just read out the questions, and it was always for a company. And
I don't think that's good money, but anyway, go on. No.
Yeah, no, it was good money at the time.
At the time,
At the time. But you'd only rock up and do it for an hour or two, and then you were gone,
Yeah.
And it was during the day usually.
Oh, that's good.
So that was good. But one time they said, "Oh, congratulations to Kevin and James for all their hard work." I think they said congratulations to Kevin James, and then there was a pause there. For all their hard work, and it sounded like they were going to get married then, whatever. And then I went up there and I was like, yeah, thanks for coming to the trivia. All right, guys, we're going to get into it. Also, congratulations to Kevin and James. And fuck, the crowd just loved it.
Yeah.
And then they were on my side from then on.
Yeah, right.
They could just the stupidest, silliest thing you could ever do.
Yeah.
You're just like, oh.
But the reason it works is because it's happening right then and there
in
in the room. It's never going to happen again.
No.
And they know that. It's a subconscious thing, I reckon.
And then sometimes you can say something like that and then get them offside. You just look like a big dork that's trying to make friends with them.
Yes.
They're like, oh, who cares, buddy?
Yeah.
Oh, what a tryhard. Fuck off. And then you've got to fucking work your way for the rest of the night to try and get them on side.
Oh, I did one just out of lockdown for an advertising company during the day. Oh, God. In South Melbourne.
And an advertising company.
They're hard because...
They're weird people.
No, the creatives think they're funnier than you. The only people really laughing were like the normal sort of admin accounts guys. And there was a well-dressed guy, and I said, "Where do you live, mate? You're not rocking Werribee with that look." And he goes, "I live in Werribee, actually." I'm like, "Oh yeah, I thought I smelled something." Check your shoes. And he goes, "That's very 90s." I said, "Actually, more 80s, probably, really, mate." But, oh man, I walked out there going, I gotta remember to say no to the advertising agency gigs during the day.
Yeah, man. Yeah, they want they want weird shit. They want fucking like a fucking projection on a wall or something.
Yes, the guy who the guy who was looking after me and introduced me on. There was no stage, just in like a room. He was really great, had great vibes, but he just fucked off.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Then he comes back. Oh, how'd it go? Well, it would have been better if you were around. Just to get the crowd going, you know what I mean? He was like
Yeah.
he was obviously the vibe master of the joint,
Ah, right.
but he just fucked off. So,
Oh, God.
but that's it. Most of those gigs are fine. They're like,
I do a bit of that sometimes if you're in those situations. I'll bring on the next act or whatever, and then I'll just fucking clap up the back or whatever.
Yeah,
or,
exactly. Start the clapping.
It's a weird thing that you pick up all these little things when you do a few shit gigs.
Yeah,
Like, all right, I'll
Yeah,
fucking
start the clapping.
help this person along. I'll help them along, because people don't want to feel alone. Hey, they're like, oh, look, if I think this is funny. Oh, hang on, some bloke up the back's loving it. Oh, hang on, he's on stage now. This has all been a ruse, an elaborate
These guys
ruse.
are con men. An elaborate ruse.
An elaborate ruse. Yeah, mate. No, it was a cool theatre.
Yeah, it was good.
It would be cool to film a special in a place like that.
Yeah, it would, wouldn't it?
Live in Geelong.
Live in Geelong. Well, you film me. We'll have a look at the footage and we'll go back and film our specials there.
Yeah, man. Yeah, that'd be great.
I don't know if we'll fill it, but anyway. It wasn't that big though.
How many seats was
it's
it?
350, I think. So it's not that big.
No, not that big, but that's good. That's probably the perfect amount for a special, I'd say.
Yeah.
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 Yeah, you did one at the Comics Lounge, didn't you?
Yeah, that was good.
And how long was that?
200, 250.
How long was it though?
I did an hour, yeah.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, but I think this time or next time I'll do 100 people in like a roundish
really?
small room. Yeah. Because I think it creates a more intimate vibe, and it doesn't matter how many people you have in you.
No, it doesn't matter. No.
I wanted the spectacle. I wanted as many people as possible.
Yeah. But then people at home don't know that. They're like,
so it looked like a boss,
Yeah.
They're like, oh, this guy's legitimate. Which is true, which is good, but also at the same time, yeah, it's not as good. I watched Rory Scovel's documentary on Netflix. Netflix special is great, man.
Who's that? Rory Scovel.
Rory Scovel, American comic, fantastic,
Yeah, right.
so good. He's weird, but he's still solid.
Oh, I have a look. And where's he film his special?
Get this right. This is the coolest fucking story ever. He sat next to Jack White on a plane,
Oh, yeah.
and he gave him a tape of his stuff. Jack's like, oh, I love comedy. And he's like, oh. And then Jack White called him up and said, you want to film a special at Third Man Studios?
And what's that? Is that Jack White's venue?
Yeah, that's Jack White's venue. So it's a
that's
really
cool.
probably 100 people max.
Wow.
Like just in one of those kind of circular, when the stage is lower than the audience kind of thing.
Oh, yeah, right. Like a pit.
And it's lit really cool. Like, got those little drop down red lights
I'll have
and
a
stuff.
look.
It's beautiful, man. It's really nice and intimate, and I think he did 2 shows, and then just edited the footage together. I think that's what I'll do next time. Do 2 100.
So you only did one show?
Yeah, I only did one show. Yeah, I think that'd be good though. I'm fine doing one show. I think it's kind of cool.
Yeah.
But then again,
You just stuff something up.
sometimes it's scary because
Yeah, a lot of pressure on you.
sometimes people wander in fucked and they don't know what's happening. Like that happened to me in England. I tried to film one in England at a 100-seat venue at the Bill Murray, and the footage came out shit or whatever. But there was a lady drunk up the back who didn't know what was going on.
Yeah, right.
Just fucking heckling and talking.
Oh.
And you're like, imagine if I'd paid 10 grand for this.
Yeah, exactly.
So yeah,
You're ruining my special.
there's just so many variables with comedy.
Yeah,
Hey man, there's just so many variables. Like we taped the footage tonight, but you never know. There could have been some weird echo, or there could be some fucking. There's just too many variables.
Or it sounds like no one's laughing.
Yeah, or it's yeah.
Why is no one laughing at him? It's meant to be funny.
I remember the comedy festival or something did some documentary on the roadshow.
Yeah,
and there
they
were
did.
some places that was a bit tough.
Yeah.
So they would edit Bob Franklin's laughs in there.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because Bob Franklin, he's such a destroyer. That they were like, okay, we'll put Bob Franklin's
Bob's
laughs.
laughs over the rest of the act.
Yeah.
God.
He's like, they're using my fucking laughs. He's so good, Bob Franklin.
Yeah, he's excellent.
Man. I remember before I met him, I worked in the ABC shop. and there was a book that he wrote of short stories.
Yeah, there was. Yeah.
And it was on special, and I bought it.
Oh, really?
And yeah, I walked up to him at the back of the Hi-Fi once, and I was like, "Hey, mate, I bought your book."
Oh, I love that.
And he said, "Yeah, you're the one."
You're the one. Yeah, you're the one.
It's great.
So, thanks very much.
Thanks very much.
Thanks very much.
You're the one.
I remember going over his house one day and I said, "Where's Bob?" And he was in the garage lifting weights to heavy metal.
Ah,
Sepultura or something
that's
like that.
so him.
No, Blue Oyster Cult.
Oh,
Just
man.
lifting weights.
That's so funny. Because he's not so jacked now, but he used to be big and jacked, eh?
Yeah, he used to be very fit, Bob. Yeah, he was.
Fuck, that's funny,
He's a big
man.
soccer player and stuff.
Oh,
Well, I'll ask the questions and we can.
yeah. Sorry.
So
mate.
what went well tonight and why, Nick? What went well with the gig?
I think what went well was sitting in it, like waiting for him to laugh.
Oh yeah,
You
right.
know, like because they were a bit slow, I'd say.
Yeah,
Like you give them a tiny bit, and then they'd pipe up, and it'd be great.
yeah.
I think that was good, but also I guess the hard hitting jokes when they hit hard in a pub, it's sick. But when they hit hard in a theater, oh man,
Zigger.
it's incredible. It's so good. They clap.
Yeah,
It's
they
crazy.
did. They clapped. And what didn't go well? Anything?
I think, man, it was hard for me to at the start, just not walking around. As I was saying before, for some reason you just want to walk out and stand there,
Yeah.
and just be reliable. And then you realise, no, there's a whole stage thing going on here. I can be a bit unreliable. I can ask, hey, how are you, Geelong? What's going on? You know,
Yeah.
like what you did. You did it so good. You were open with crowd work. Hey, let's. Whereas I was like, oh, yeah, I didn't have much time, so that's why I wanted to be.
Yeah, limited time.
Yeah, I've had very limited time, but also I think that's what could have been a bit better. But also, when you're in a 5 to 7 minute spot, you don't have any time to build your character.
No, you should do the jokes, and you
yeah.
did it well though.
Yeah, it was fun. It was
You
real
did
fun,
well.
man. It was a fun gig.
Were there any organisational hazards that got in the way?
Organisational hazards.
It's all pretty good. We had a food
No,
spread.
Oh, it was great.
Look,
man.
there were a lot of cans of Coke Zero, but I'm Diet Coke.
There was a lot of cans of
it's
Coke Zero,
It's a different thing.
and I thought they would have had a full strength there.
Yeah, there was no
Or-
full strength.
There was no full strength.
Would have you liked one of them? Or?
Maybe not really. No, I don't think it would have. They had a lot of beers left over and stuff, and
They did.
they did have. You know what's a weird thing, Dave? Is what is it? What do they call them? What are those tasting plates called? Those
Yeah, it's just a platter.
platter. A platter. So they had 3 levels of platter.
Oh yeah, it was a 3-level
It was like
platter. Yeah.
So it had cheese, had the crackers, salami, but then it had the top level, and that was all sweet ones. So macaroons,
Tim Tams.
Tim Tams, and there's only 4 people backstage that are all men.
Yeah.
You know,
I ate some of the Tim Tams.
I had 1 or 2. And I thought it was good, but I thought, I wonder if they're going to get thrown away. Or
Yeah, I
what's gonna happen.
know. I don't know. You worry about it, don't you?
It's a very country cheese board. They're like, we'll put Tim Tams on top.
Yeah.
You know, macaroons. And it was just a nice little touch, I thought.
Ah, it just reminded me. I did a gig. Speaking of difficult gigs in Sydney, for Vizzy
Yeah.
paper owned by the Pratt family, and we did one in their apartment. They got this amazing apartment on Sydney Harbour,
Yeah.
and it was me and Jeff Green and Jessica Malboy. And we get there, me and Jeff, and there was a 3-tiered seafood display, which was as big as the bonnet of my car. It was huge.
Yeah.
And 3 different, with prawns, lobsters, and then the guy goes, and we had to perform kind of behind it.
Yeah.
And Jeff's like, "Are you gonna move the seafood platter when we perform?" And the guy's like, "No, mate, that's the keystone of the event, the seafood platter. That's right. So we're performing to lobster and prawns, are we? We're gonna perform like monkeys." And it's like, oh god, I was like, oh Jeff, well, But it went all right. It
Yeah.
went fine. But
Yeah,
he's
yeah.
right. We had to perform the lobster, basically.
Fuck.
We had to perform over the lobster and prawns.
What? Because I'm doing my first corporate, Dave. Well, I've done a few.
No, you did one for Brooksy, your mate. Said it was fantastic.
Yeah, it was fun. That was great.
Well, what are you doing? Which one? What are you doing next?
Well, they're flying me for this cancer charity to Cairns
Wow.
to do one.
But is it like a ball?
It's like a dinner ball thing, and they've got some other guy, some what is it, like marathon runner who had cancer or whatever. And I got to do half an hour or 20 minutes, something around that. Of stand up. I was talking to Michael Schaefer about corporate gigs and stuff, and he was telling me about the nightmare ones that he's done, because people have gone and seen him and gone, oh, can you perform at my cancer benefit or whatever, and how they shift the venue to a restaurant, and then there's no microphone, and he just dies, and then you've got to still kind of ask for the $1,000.
Oh yeah,
at least for the money.
Yeah.
I think this one's going to be okay, but like you do, from the sounds of it, you do a lot of hard gigs that are like this, that are badly organised, or there's a fucking lobster thing. Do you like? Is it hard because you just get called through a manager to do it, and you can't ring them and go, hey, look, I
always ring them.
Always
ring them.
Yeah.
Always ring them.
Yeah.
And I ask questions like, I just say, oh, so when am I on? During dinner. No, I can't go on during dinner.
Yeah.
You can't compete with food. And once you explain to people, they understand it. But, they had me going on during dinner. And you're like, no, look, we want you to get on. And I did a gig the other day.
Yeah.
And the woman goes, okay, you're on in a minute. And we're serving the dinner. I said, you know what? I'll wait around to just after dinner and I'll go on. Are you sure? I'm like, yeah. Because if you go on when they're eating, it's too hard. So always don't go on. Always talk to them.
Yeah.
And say, is there a dance floor?
Yeah.
And say, can we get the tables and chairs as close to the stage as possible?
Yeah.
If not, stand on the dance floor and do it from there.
Yeah.
That's what I do.
Yeah.
But yeah, you definitely talk to them. And also, I did this gig once for the Royal Children's, and Peter Hitchner was hosting, and I've probably told this story on this podcast before, and he goes, he's a lovely guy, Hitch, the Channel 9 newsreader, and he's like, okay, David, you're on after Elisa Camplin, the skier.
Oh, yeah.
Now, she was a politician, and she won a gold medal
Yeah.
in snow skiing.
Yeah.
Incredible. And I go, well, what's she talking about? And he goes, oh, I assume her. I don't know, actually. And then the tech goes, didn't her baby die? I'm like, what? Really? And then we Google. I was like, yeah. And she gets up and she tells this amazing story about her child who passed away, 6-8 weeks old. Yeah. The husband gets up. They're all crying. Everyone's crying. I'm crying. Everyone's crying.
Yeah.
And then Peter comes up and goes, I'll bring you straight on. I went, no. I'm not going on, mate.
Yeah. I remember you telling me this. I'm not following the dead kid or whatever.
And she goes on and says we went on to have several children. It's all fine now, but still, I'm up there hanging shit on my kids.
Yeah, exactly.
But I would make sure. Are there any cancer kids? Slideshows or stories, because that's very hard to follow. Put me on before it. Yeah,
right. Okay.
Put me on before that stuff.
Yeah, okay, because I thought maybe they'd want me for comic relief. But
you can't, as long as there's a gap, like a course or something, but don't go straight on after...
okay, yeah. Okay, great, as long as there's a gap. This is good. This is what I got to know.
But also, what I do, I sometimes watch the other speeches.
Yeah.
And, I did this one the other day for the Kenworth trucks. This guy was retiring after he worked as a salesman for 60 years. He was a gun salesman.
Fuck.
And so then all his mates got up and made speeches, and some of them were just hilarious, all. And this old guy goes, he told this really long story about a lobster when they went lobster fishing in Tasmania, and he goes, and to cut a long story short, and I said, and when Phil said to cut a long story short, Phil, it was too late by that stage. They're kind of making comment on the other speeches. But then again, if they're talking about cancer, you can't really hang shit on their speeches.
No.
So you can't do that one.
Anyway, well, that's good.
But I would also do some crowd work's always good in those
Crowd work's
situations.
always good, yeah. But also what I find fascinating is that you still ring these people and talk to them.
Oh yeah, you got to talk. I always
But
talk to them.
You still ring and talk to them, but then you still tell me about all these fucking nightmare gigs you have to do, because do they just go nah, or we'll just do this, and you're like, it's not. Do you tell them, you're like, look, it's not going to be that good?
Yeah. I just say, look, that could be quite difficult.
Yeah.
Look, I'll give it a go, but I
Yeah.
can't promise anything. That's what I say.
Yeah, right. Okay.
And so you go along and you're like,
yeah.
but also sometimes people don't know. They don't know what it's going to be like.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So they have a guess and go.
Yeah.
I did 350 builders standing up at Crown Casino the other day.
Yeah.
On a Friday night.
Yeah.
And they were all great. But I said to the woman, they're standing up. It's going to be hard to keep their attention.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Exactly.
So it was just a constant.
Yeah.
Oh, look at this bloke over here. What's your name, mate?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. What do you do? And hang shit on him.
Yeah.
What about this bloke? Yeah. And honestly, it gets about 20 minutes. You've picked on nearly everyone you can see. Like.
Yeah. Fuck, man. Jesus.
But you know what
Christ.
my other tip is?
Yeah.
Always pretend you're having the best time of your life.
Great.
Don't go, you guys, this is fucked. Don't do that one.
Yeah.
You
great.
guys.
Yeah.
But also you call it how it is though. Like,
Yeah.
Gee, I thought this would go better, guys. Anyway.
Yeah. Yeah, great. Okay, that's good. This is all good tips.
No.
This is all great tips.
Also, I would lean into the cancer stuff pretty early.
Yeah.
And get the woman to say, he's a comedian, but he's here because he's a cancer survivor.
Yeah, great.
It's just like when I do a gig for a school, he's a parent, so
yeah.
straight away I get up there and I go, I'm a parent too, guys,
Yeah, I'm one of you.
One of us.
I'm one of you
One of
fucking
us.
sad sacks that threw away your life
Threw away your life with
to
children.
bring new life.
That hate you when you're a teenager. And what's the last question? How can we do better next time?
Oh, how could we
How
done
could
better?
we? I think you
Man,
just
I reckon-
headline. We'll get you, and Peter Hallier and Evan Hocking was on as well.
Yeah.
And you should headline.
Yeah. Good luck.
What
Pete.
we'll do.
Good luck, Pete. Follow me after that. You know.
Yeah. No, Pete goes on before you.
Yeah,
We were going before you, and then as Pete finishes, I'll go on and say, guys, I know that's the end of the night, but we've got a young bloke. Nick Capper's at the back. He's going to come on. Have a break. And he's going to come on and do 40 minutes. And then we'll see who hangs around.
Yeah. That'd be good.
Some people would hang around though.
That'd be good.
Some people go, fuck it. Well, this will be interesting.
What did Andrew Dice Clay do when he
God.
did a special?
I saw a show. Yeah.
He did a special. I think he only recorded it, audio, and it was the day the laughter died or something, and it's on like New Year's Eve when no one goes to comedy.
Oh,
there's like 4
God.
people, and he was like the biggest
He was
comedian
huge.
in America at that time.
Yeah.
And he just did this. He'd recorded this special in front of 4 people in a fucking.
Why?
Yeah, just I don't know, just to test himself, I guess. I don't know.
God.
Yeah, it could be like that. I could, spend all this money on a special and then go, hey, all right, well, Nick Capper's going to come on after Pete Hellier, and then you see how that goes,
I reckon you'd be fine.
Yeah, it was
fine.
Fun gig, man. Yeah, I don't know what we could do better next time. I think, no, man, you were so good. It was great.
You were good. Come on.
No.
Now, where can people? You do a podcast called Phone Hacks with Mike Goldstein.
Yeah, with Mike Goldstein. It's great. We've really hit our stride lately,
Oh.
which has been ill-timed because Mike's got to go to America for fucking 2 months. So
Why?
Because he visits family and friends and everything. It's huge.
Fair enough.
But yeah, so he's going to do that. But yeah, we've really hit our stride lately. We've got some cracking episodes.
Cool. I can't wait.
Yeah.
Nick Capper, there he is.
And when will this be released?
Oh, next week sometime.
Oh, yeah. So I'm doing Brisbane. I'm doing a split show with Brett Blake for the Good Chat Comedy Festival.
Oh, great.
So I think that's September 2nd.
Oh, yeah.
And then September 4th, we're doing a show called Brew Dudes where we...
you do beers, don't you?
Yeah. You pay $30 and you get 4 beers. And
deal.
And Brett and I just muck about, and it's great. We do tasting notes and all that shit, but really we don't. It's just us fucking about and paying hanging shit on the crowd. It's a whole lot of fun.
Oh, that sounds
And and then we're doing Tasmania in September. Like
Oh, wow.
from the 21st till the 30th, we're doing Ulverston. Have you done a gig in Ulverston before?
No, I'd love to go there.
So we're doing Ulverston, Launceston, and Hobart.
Cool.
So check those out.
Cool,
Yeah.
that'd be good.
Yeah.
Nick Cabba on the debrief. There he goes.
Thanks, mate.
Yeah.